Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see, we're jumping back into the American Dad universe today. Now, if for some reason you haven't seen American Dad and you don't like spoilers, you should jump off here, go watch it, and then come back here. But if you don't care, we move on. Now, this video shouldn't be too long. I just want to talk about one of the gifts that I think Roger has that it hasn't necessarily been said directly. But I think it's so obvious that this is a gift of his, right? An ability of his. Now we know that he has many abilities. And I think one of the first ones that we find out that he really, has is like being able to get the memories of others and, super speed and obviously regeneration. But I think one that he uses in every episode and it's not even realized is shapeshifting. I think when he is pretending to be other characters in different, animals and whatever, he is actually being like he's actually portraying himself as that. There are many supporting factors, okay? So, first and foremost, there was an episode, and I just watched this episode too. When they were doing the stomp stuff, he grew an area. Okay, now he is genderless, mind y'all. When he's in his most natural state, he's genderless. Technically, he's a guy, but he don't got no genitalia. Okay, but in that episode, he literally was able to. He was portraying himself as a guy in this episode, and he was able to grow to help. He had drunk the gasoline at the store. So they're running out of gas and this mob is chasing after them and he sticks the thing that he grew and into the gas tank and was peeing the gas into the car so that they could get out of there. So he don't have, mind y'all, he don't have that, okay? And we see that in multiple different episodes where he has, like, when he's portraying a woman, he has a chest area, where he normally doesn't have that. And it's on him. It's not fake. Like, it's not like that episode when he was, it was like the newspaper. He was being a newspaper bad boy or something. I don't know what was going on. But he was, switching characters. And this is in the early seasons, right? And he just put some oranges in there while he was pretending to be the mom. Which I'm going to tell you, I think this is not a gift that he's always had. I think it's a gift that he developed over time the more he got into playing the different personas, right? But also, there's this episode where Francine, she wants to find her real parents. She goes to the agency. She finds out who her father is, and she goes there. And Roger is pretending to be the cat. Now, if we know that it's Roger, but everybody else sees this as a cat, and one of her relatives is allergic to cats, and that means, like, when she goes in there to kill Francine, she asks Roger for his help. He goes back into pretending like he's the cat when she comes in, and she's allergic. So she actually is sneezing from these pheromones that this cat persona is giving off because he is actually a cat in this situation. You see what I'm saying? Like, I hope this is making sense, right? And it's the same thing with, like, so there's an episode where this is just a small moment, but apparently him and Stan were playing hide and go seek, and Stan's in his closet looking for Roger. Now he sees a spider and he says, "Oh, I know, you're in the form of a spider. It's a small spider." And he's like, obviously, he gets bitten by. He's like, okay, obviously that wasn't, Roger. And then he sees a mouse and he's like, I know, you transformed into a mouse. So I think that not only is he able to shapeshift into different characters, he's able to go into the size of the character or the animal or being that he is portraying in the moment that he's portraying it, right? And there is an episode where he lets Steve know that there are multiple personas that the family don't even know that he plays, and they see him as what he wants them to see them as, which leads me to, not only are you portraying different, like, shape shifting into these different beings, but I feel like there's also some type of energetic, like, thing that he can put out to, like, make you see the illusion he wants you to see. Because when he shows one of the characters that Steve didn't know he was, like, it was just a normal girl in Steve's eyes, but the whole time it was just Roger. And I feel like the only reason why we know that all of these different personas is Roger is because, they know, like, the family can recognize him now, right? Because there's personas that they ran into of him before he was a part of their family, before they considered him a Smith as well, where they, like, for instance, the Mexican cartel dude who made Stan in the, like, Fool of Fool's Day, Stan didn't know that was Roger. And I feel like, so when you hear Stan telling the story of that, what happened back then, like, his details become more and more obvious that it's Roger. But I think that he wasn't seeing it, right? Because at one point he even says his gray skin. But what if he started to, because he knows Roger plays all of these personas, what if his brain started to pick up on the fact that it actually was just Roger, but he was so stuck on it being some random incident, right? So his brain is remembering what he wanted it to remember, but he's so used to Roger's personas, so his brain was starting to fit in the pieces that this is Roger you're talking about, right? I hope this is making sense, because this is something that I love to talk about. Like, this is one of the things about Roger that I find to be really cool. And, like, we're looking at, it's like that moment. Okay, here's a great example. In Guardians of the Galaxy, how we hear I am Groot when Groot is speaking as well. And then at the end of the third one, we hear him say that he loves, everyone in the group or whatever. And it's like, well, now we're to the point where we can also understand Groot because we've been around him so long. It's similar to that, but just shape-shifting abilities for Roger, right? So, like, we are seeing him as Roger because we know is Roger, but other people aren't. There's even an episode where Rogu comes into the picture, where he has the tumor thing pop up on him. He is pretending to be an Asian. And I also feel like this might go into the ability. Whatever race he's pretending to be, or whatever, that has a different language from English, I think he's able to understand it when he's portraying it. He naturally just gets that information of how that language is spoken, because he was portraying an Asian man and speaking perfect Chinese to his Chinese wife. And, like, his eyes were even different. Like, they were slanted, like, and we know Roger's eyes don't look like that. So, like, I feel I hope this is making sense, but I feel like he is doing more than just playing dress up and playing pretend. I think it goes far deeper than that. And I think when he's not, full blown tricking the eyes by shapeshifting, he's giving off some type of, like, pheromone that, makes you believe the illusion that's in front of you. Anyways, that's all I have to say in this particular video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it made sense. And if it did, like, why don't you tell me one of Roger's personas that is your favorite that he's portrayed? And don't be generic and say Ricky Spanish, because that's basic as hell. But yeah, if you like this video, feel free to like and subscribe to the channel, because there's more on the way, and there is other videos on here. You should check them out because they're pretty darn good. With that being said, until next time, bye.